Hello students, welcome to our online platform. Myself Engineer PP sir, your physics mentor. So students, in today's lecture we will discuss about resistance and its dependence on different factors, then its combinations. So let us talk about Ohm's law. Ohm's law. So Ohm was a scientist. He established a relation in potential difference and electric current flowing through any conductor. Let us say this is a conductor in which potential difference across its ends is, let us say, V, and current flowing through it is, let us say, I. Then according to Ohm, if physical conditions are kept constant, if physical conditions are kept constant, then potential difference produced across the ends of this conductor is directly proportional to current flowing through it. It means its mathematical relation is V is proportional to I. V proportional to I. If we remove this proportional sign, then here comes a constant which is known as electric resistance. So here R is equal to V upon I. R is equal to V upon I. So we have discussed SI unit and dimension of electric resistance. So its SI unit of electric resistance is ohms. So we have discussed its SI unit. So it is ohm. Its dimension is M1 L2 T minus 3 A minus 2. So this is the dimension of electric resistance. So here we talk about graph between V and I. So for conductors at low temperatures, this graph is a straight line. It means V is proportional to I here, and slope of this graph, here slope of this graph is equal to V upon I, or you can say that its slope is, if we find change, let us say if we want to find change, then let us say change in electric current is del I and change in potential difference is del V, then we can also say that its slope is del V upon del I, which is equal to resistance. So we can say that slope of Vi graph for conductors at low temperatures represents resistance. Similarly, if this graph is reversed, it means if we plot a graph between V and I in such a manner that electric current is taken at y-axis and potential difference is taken at x-axis, in that situation also this graph will be straight line. But now in this condition, this is del V and this is del I. Let us say this is the angle theta. So here slope of this graph tan theta is equal to del I upon del V, and del I upon del V is equal to 1 upon R. Del I upon del V is equal to 1 upon R, which is known as conductance. So we can say that slope of Vi graph is equal to resistance and slope of IV graph is equal to conductance, or you can say reciprocal of resistance. So questions are asked generally based on this pattern. Like if we talk about any simple pattern of question, then let us say here on x-axis current is given in milliamperes. On y-axis, let us say potential difference is given in volts. Here potential difference is given as 20, 40, 60, 80, and their respective currents are, let us say, it is 1, 2, 3, and 4 milliamperes. So you may be asked here resistance. So if you have to calculate resistance, then resistance is R is equal to del V upon del I. So take difference of any two values. So if we take difference of 40 and 20, then take difference of 1 and 2 here. It is del I and it is del V. So del V is 20 volt divided by del I is 1 milliampere. It means 10 to the power minus 3. So R is equal to 20 kilo ohms. So resistance is 20 kilo ohms. So this is a simple pattern of question which is based on Ohm's law. Now see, there are some graphs which does not obey Ohm's law. So these materials are known as directly I can say non-ohmic materials. Non-ohmic materials. So non-ohmic materials are those which do not obey Ohm's law, which do not obey Ohm's law. So in these materials or in these conductors, graph is not a straight line like diode, semiconductors, torch bulb, thyristor, etc. So these are some non-ohmic materials. Non-ohmic means they do not obey Ohm's law, or in other words, you can say that if we plot a graph between potential difference and electric current, then this graph is not a straight line. So in case of torch bulb, we can say that this graph is like this. So this is the graph for torch bulb. If we talk about diodes, then for diodes, this is IF, forward current, this is reverse current, this is applied potential. So this graph is like this. So these graphs are not a straight line, they are variable in different shapes. So these are non-ohmic materials. These materials are known as non-ohmic. So keep in mind always that if a graph between V and I is not a straight line, then they are non-ohmic materials or non-ohmic substances. Now see, dependence of resistance on temperature. So what is the dependence of resistance on temperature? So if we talk about for conductors, then for conductors this relation is RT is equal to R naught into 1 plus alpha del T. RT is equal to R naught into 1 plus alpha del T. Here this alpha is temperature resistance coefficient. Temperature resistance coefficient. R naught is resistance at 0 degree Celsius temperature. RT is resistance at T temperature. Resistance at T temperature. And similarly, this del T is change in temperature. Del T is change in temperature. So this is the simple relation. So from this relation, it is very clear to us that dependence of resistance on temperature is linear. So in case of conductors, resistance varies linearly. With respect to temperature. So let us draw a graph. So see, our relation is RT is equal to R naught. RT is equal to R naught into 1 plus alpha del T. This is our relation, or we can say RT minus R naught minus R naught alpha del T is equal to 0. This is the relation. So from here, if we plot a graph between R and T, if we plot a graph between RT and T, then see, this is zero temperature, let us say this is T, this small t is giving here the temperature. So this graph will be a straight line, and this straight line will be like this. This is the intercept on y-axis. This intercept represents the value. See, from here it is r naught plus alpha r naught plus r naught alpha del t. So see, if we consider here that del t is taken as t, del t is taken as t, then from this relation we can say, if we take rt as component on y-axis, small t as component on y-axis, then from here it is very clear to us that rt is equal to r naught alpha del t plus r naught, or if we consider that T1 is equal to 0 degree Celsius and T2 is equal to T, then this relation becomes equal to r naught alpha T plus r naught. So compare this relation with y is equal to mx plus c. Y is equal to mx plus c. So this c is intercept on y-axis. So this c is r naught. So this is the intercept on y-axis, r naught. And if we talk about slope of this graph, then this slope is r naught alpha. Slope is r naught alpha. So questions may be asked from this relation that if we calculate slope of this graph, then let us say this is the angle theta, then from here tan theta is equal to r naught alpha. So this is a graph between resistance and temperature. So always keep in mind, in case of conductors, graph between resistance and temperature is always a straight line. Clear? And it carries intercept on y-axis, which is equal to value r naught. R naught is temperature. R naught is resistance at 0 degree Celsius temperature. Its slope is r naught into alpha. So r naught is again resistance at 0 degree Celsius temperature, and alpha is temperature resistance coefficient. So this is the graph for conductors. Then for semiconductors. So if we talk about dependence of resistance on temperature for semiconductors, then this relation is RT is equal to R naught into a to the power minus del Eg upon KT. This is the dependence. It means resistance depends on temperature exponentially. Resistance depends on temperature exponentially, or we can say that in case of semiconductor, if temperature is increased, then resistance decreases. Resistance decreases. It means if temperature is increased, then resistance decreases. So this is the relation of temperature and resistance here. Here del Eg is forbidden energy gap. Del Eg is forbidden energy gap. So we will talk about forbidden energy gap in detail in semiconductors. K is Boltzmann constant. K is Boltzmann constant, and T is temperature. T is temperature. So these are some components in case of semiconductors. So we can say that in case of semiconductors, if temperature is increased, then resistance decreases exponentially. Resistance decreases exponentially. This is the relation. Now see, our next topic is based on combination of resistors. Combination of resistors. So whenever resistors are combined together, then this combination may be either in series or parallel. So there are two combination of resistors. One is series combination. And another one is parallel combination. So in series combination you have to keep in mind two separate factors. We have to keep in mind two separate factors which are very useful in case of combination of resistors or capacitors or inductors. So what you have to keep in mind is, in case of series combination, either they are resistors or capacitors or inductors, I and Q means electric current and charge are always constant through each and every appliance. Through each and every appliance, electric current and charge are always constant, while potential difference is variable. Potential difference is variable. As many devices are connected in series combination, potential difference across the ends of each device will be different. While in case of parallel combination, potential difference V is constant. V is constant across each component. Either it is resistor or inductor or capacitor. So potential difference will be constant in parallel combination, while I and Q are different. I and Q are different. So you have to keep in mind these two general concepts which make your question solving technique very easy. Now see how they are connected in series and parallel. Let us see in our next slide. So first of all, I'm talking about series combination. Series combination. So see, let us say in series combination, different resistors are connected with a source. Let us say these three resistors are connected with a source and a key in series combination. Their resistances are R1, R2, R3. Let us say potential difference is V equivalent. Now see, terminals of these resistors are connected at different places, so potential difference across them will be different. So let us say potential difference across R1 is V1, across R2 is V2, and across R3 is V3. But they all are connected in series, so electric current flowing through them will be similar. So here what concept we use, that equivalent potential difference of the source is equal to sum of individual potential difference across the resistors connected in series combination. It means V equivalent is equal to V1, V equivalent is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. V1 plus V2 plus V3. So calculate values of V1 plus V2 plus V3. So V is equal to IR. We know it from Ohm's law. So in case of first resistor, V1 is equal to I into R1 because current is constant. Across R2 it is I into R2, and across R3 it is I into R3. So if we take I as common, then it becomes equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. Clear? So now if we take V equivalent upon I, then it is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3, and V equivalent upon I represents R equivalent resistance. So here this can be represented as RS. S means series, equivalent resistance in series. RS is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. It means when different resistors are connected in series combination, then equivalent resistance is equal to sum of resistances of individual resistors. So this is RS is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3. Now see, if we consider that there are n resistors connected in series, if n resistors are there, then RS is equal to R1 plus R2 plus R3 up to Rn. And if we consider that all the resistors connected in series combination are having similar resistance, it means if R1 is equal to R2 is equal to R3 up to Rn and all the values are equal to R, then R equivalent RS is equal to R plus R plus R. We have to sum R plus R plus R n times. So it becomes equal to n into R. It becomes equal to n into R. So this is the simple concept. So what you have to consider is that whatever values of given registers are there in series combination, if you have to calculate equivalent resistance, then simply add all the resistances connected in series. Similarly, if we talk about parallel combination, then in case of parallel combination, we consider that one end of each register is connected at a given terminal and another end is connected to another given terminal this way. So these three registers are connected in such a way that their one end is fixed at one point and their another end is fixed at second point. So let us say here their resistances are R1, R2, R3, and these three resistance are connected with a source and a key. In this condition, again, let us say that total current flowing through the source is I equivalent. Now see, these three registers or these n registers, whatever combination you are given, are connected in parallel. So in parallel, always keep in mind that potential difference is similar. And if we say that potential difference of the source is V, then potential difference across each register will be equal to V. So here also let us say potential difference is V, V and V. But if current is I equivalent, then current through each register will be different. So let us say these currents are I1, I2 and I3. And when these currents are coming out of this network, then again I equivalent is equal to I1 plus I2 plus I3. So this is the general concept which we have to use while solving the question of these given combinations. So here I equivalent is equal to, so now calculate values of I1, I2 and I3. So we know from Ohm's law that I is equal to V upon R. So in case of first register, let us say it is V upon R1. In case of second register, it is V upon R2. And in case of third register, it is V upon R3. So if we take V as common, then it becomes equal to I equivalent upon V is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3, or we can say that 1 upon Rp. P means parallel. So Rp is representing equivalent resistance in parallel combination. So 1 upon Rp is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus 1 upon R3. So in parallel combination, we can say that reciprocal of equivalent resistance is equal to algebraic sum of reciprocal of individual resistances. Clear? So if there are n resistors, then we can say that 1 upon Rp is equal to 1 upon R1 plus 1 upon R2 plus up to 1 upon Rn. And if we say that these all resistors are having similar values, it means if R1 is equal to R2 is equal to up to Rn and all are having same value R, then in this condition, sum of 1 upon R plus 1 upon R plus 1 upon R up to n times. So in this condition, Rp becomes equal to R upon n. Rp becomes equal to R upon n. So this is the general concept of finding the equivalent resistance of any given network, either it is in series combination or in parallel combination. So what trick you have to keep in mind while solving the MCQs? So trick is what? In series combination, equivalent resistance is always greater than the largest value of resistance connected in circuit. So let us say this concept or this trick by an example. So what kind of trick is this? That whenever different registers are connected in series combination, then whatever the value of largest resistance connected in series combination, resultant will be greater than that value. It means let us say 2 ohms, 8 ohms, 16 ohms are connected in series. Then resultant is, what is this trick? That resultant is greater than the 16 ohm. So you can pick that value from that MCQs directly. So here we can say that 2 plus 8, 10, 10 plus 16, 26 ohm. So this is the resultant in case of series combination. So we can clearly see that this is the largest value connected in series combination and resultant is greater than this value. So always this concept or this trick you have to keep in mind. Now, second trick is in parallel combination. In parallel combination, equivalent resistance is always less than the least value of resistance connected in circuit. So this is the another trick. It means in given options, if the parallel combination is given, then from the given options you have to pick the value which is smaller than the least value of resistance connected in parallel combination. So again, let us take an example. So let us say we are given 1 ohm, 2 ohm and 3 ohm, and we have to calculate equivalent resistance in case of parallel combination. Then what is this trick? This trick says that resultant resistance will be less than the least value of resistor connected in parallel. It means least value is 1 ohm. So our equivalent resistance is less than 1 ohm. So let us find out. So here 1 upon Rp is equal to 1 upon 1 plus 1 upon 2 plus 1 upon 3. If you take 6 as LCM, then 6 plus 3 plus 2, it is 11 by 6, and value of Rp from here, Rp is 6 by 11, which is less than 1, so it is clearly understood from our result that our both the tricks are exactly fits on the every series and parallel combination concept. Now see, so this is the general trick. Now sometimes you are asked multiplication of resultant of series and parallel. So Rp into Rs, resultant in parallel combination into resultant of series combination, if equal resistors are connected in series or parallel. It means in case of parallel combination this value is equal to R upon N, and in case of series combination this value is N into R. So resultant is R square. It can be asked directly in your MCQs that if n resistors are connected in series and then in parallel, then what is their multiplication? What is the multiplication of the resultants? It means Rp into Rs, so it is equal to R square. It means this multiplication is independent of number of resistances connected in series or parallel. It simply depends on amount of resistance. So this is one pattern. Another one, if you are asked ratio of Rp and Rs in this situation, then ratio of Rp upon Rs, let us say it is R upon N and it is N into R. So here R is cancelled out and this ratio is equal to 1 upon N square. So if we find out ratio of resultant of parallel combination and series combination, then this ratio is always depends on number of resistors connected, and it is independent of value of resistance. So let us take an example. So if we take an example, then let us say 5 resistors are connected. Each of each of 20 ohm, each of 20 ohm, first in series and then in parallel. Then find out ratio of Rs upon Rp, Rs upon Rp. So always keep in mind, whenever we find ratio of series and parallel combination or parallel and series combination, then this ratio simply depends on number of resistors. So Rs upon Rp is equal to n square, and number of resistors, so number of resistors are 5, so n square is 25, and this ratio is unitless. This ratio is unitless, so Rs upon Rp is equal to 25. And if you are asked multiplication, so Rs into Rp, so this multiplication is equal to R square. Multiplication is equal to R square. Value of R is 20 ohm. Value of R is 20 ohm. So 20 whole square means 400, and its unit will be 400 ohm square. So focus on unit also. You may be given in option 400 ohm and 400 ohm square. So the correct option will be 400 ohm square. So this is the concept of another pattern. Now see how questions are asked. So let us take example. Let us say that we are given 3 registers, uh, 4 different registers in 3 branches of a triangle. Clear? A source is connected at the ends A and B. Let us say this is the source. Value of these resistors are, let us say this is 2 ohm, this is 4 ohm, let us say it is 15 ohm, this is 30 ohm. Potential difference is 12 volts. So we have to calculate amount of current flowing through resistance of 30 ohm. We have to calculate value of I in this 30 ohm resistance. So either you may be asked directly value of current flowing through it, or you may be given an ammeter connected in its series, and you may be asked what is the reading of ammeter. So this is a pattern of question. So let us see how it is calculated. So in such a combination, first of all we have to calculate equivalent resistance. So equivalent resistance between these ends A and B. So these two ends are fixed. It means here these two resistances are in series combination. These are simply wires. So if I stress these wires, then both 2 and 4 ohm are connected in series. So 2 plus 4, their resultant is 6. So their resultant is 6 ohms. Now see, this 6, 15 and 30. Now they are connected in parallel combination. They are connected in parallel combination. So you can find out resultant. Let us say resultant is R. So 1 upon R is equal to 1 upon 6 plus 1 upon 15 plus 1 upon 30. Let us say LCM is 30. So it is 5 plus 2 plus 1. It is equal to 8 upon 30, or you can say 4 upon 15. So R is equal to 15 by 4 ohms. 15 by 4 ohms. This is the equivalent resistance. Now we have to calculate, let us say, net current flow. Let us say this is I1. So I is equal to V upon R. I is equal to V upon R. V is 12 volt. R is 15 by 4. R is 15 by 4. So, or you can take this value as, let us say that this potential difference is also 15 volt to make the calculation easy. So it is 15 upon 15 into 4. So current is 4 amperes. So 4 ampere of current is flowing through the source. Now see, if I redraw this circuit, then we can say that here current I1 is flowing through this branch and I2 is flowing through this branch. In this branch, 2 ohms and 4 ohms resistors are connected in series combination. So equal amount of current will be flowing through them. Now again, this I1 current is again divided into two parts. Let us say this current is I3 and this current is I4. So we have to find value of this current I4. So first thing which we should know is, if I redraw the circuit, then this circuit can be redrawn as, this is the equivalent of 2 ohms and 4 ohms, and here these two resistors are connected again in parallel, and this is the source. So we have redrawn this circuit here. This is 15 ohm and this is 30 ohm. Clear? So this is the circuit. Here current I is flowing through it. We are considering that I1 current is flowing in this branch and I2 is flowing in this branch. Clear? So total current is of 4 ampere. Potential difference is 15 volt. Potential difference is 15 volt. So it is clear from this circuit diagram that 6 ohms, 15 ohms and 13 ohm, all three resistors are connected in parallel, so their potential difference will be same. So potential difference across each resistor is equal to 15 volt. Potential difference across each resistor is equal to 15 volt. So here also it is 15 volt, here also it is 15 volt, and here also it is 15 volt. So let us find out the current. So current in 6 ohm, I am explaining current flow in each resistor. So in 6 ohm, let us say this current is I2. So I2 is equal to V upon R2. So it is 15 by 6. So we can say 5 by 2, 5 by 2 amperes. So this current is 5 by 2 amperes. Now in case of 15 ohms, so we have considered here it is as I3 and this current as I4. So I3 is equal to 15 upon 15. So it is equal to 1 ampere. And similarly I4 is V upon R. So it is 15 upon 30. So it is equal to 1 by 2 ampere. So you can cross check your answer from here. Sum of all these three currents should be equal to 4 amperes. So 5 by 2 means 2.5, 2.5 plus 1, 3.5, 3.5 plus 0.5, 4. So it means our answer is correct. So you are asked here reading of this ammeter. So reading of this ammeter is 1 by 2 ampere, or you can say 0.5 ampere. So whatever your option are given, either it is 0.5 or 1 by 2, you can calculate this relation from here. So this is a pattern of question which may be asked. Now see another pattern. Another pattern is, let us say these three resistors are connected in series between points A and B, and they are short circuited with the help of another resistors like this. And let us say this is 2 ohms, this is 4 ohms, this is 6 ohms, this is 8 ohm, and this is 10 ohm. And we have to find equivalent resistance between A and B. So in such relations, when one resistor is common between these two terminals, then such resistor combination is Wheatstone bridge. So this is the combination of Wheatstone bridge. Wheatstone bridge. So let us see in this combination. These 4 ohms and 2 ohms are connected in these branches like this. So let us say this is of 4 ohm, this is of 2 ohms, and this is that terminal A. This 6 ohm resistance is connected between these two ends. Let us say this is end C and this is D. So this is C, this is D, and this is C. Now this 10 ohm and 8 ohm are again in two branches here. So let us see, this is 10 ohms and this is 8 ohms, and this is the point B. Now see, resistance between A and C. So between A and C is of 2 ohm. Resistance between C and D. the resistance between C and D is, let us say it is of 6 ohm. Resistance between A and D, so resistance between A and D is of 4 ohm. Resistance between D and B is of 10 ohms, so it is 10 ohms. Resistance between C and B, so resistance between C and B is of 8 ohms. So this is the simple combination which is equal to Wheatstone bridge. So in case of Wheatstone bridge, in balancing condition, we consider that potential difference across this branch CD is equal to 0. So if potential difference is 0, it means these terminals D and C are at similar potential, hence no current is flowing through this resistor, so this resistance can be ignored. This resistance can be ignored, and if this resistance is ignored, then we can say that this diagram after redrawing now becomes equal to like this, that this is 4 ohms, this is 10 ohms, these two are in series, and this is 2 ohms, and this is of 8 ohms, these two are in series combination, this is terminal A and this is terminal B. So now equivalent resistance can be find out. This is 4 plus 10, so their resultant is 14 ohms, and here 2 plus 8, so their resultant is 10 ohms. So 14 and 10 are in parallel combination. So now Rp is equal to R1 R2. It means 14 into 10 140 plus 14 plus 10 24. So 140 upon 24 ohm. Calculate this value. So here this way we can calculate different values. Either it is equivalent resistance, either it is current flowing through any resistance, or it is potential difference across any given resistor. So some more pattern of questions we will discuss. So that's it for today. We will discuss some more pattern of questions in our next lecture. So thank you for watching the video. So students, if you have any issue in any pattern, any trick, any type of numerical or any conceptual theory, then you can ask us without any hesitation. With the help of our app, your problem definitely will be resolved. So keep on watching, stay on our app, so that you may get a good score in your competitive exam like NEET, ICR, JET. So thank you for watching today's video. We will meet in next video with our new topic. Thank you.